Hi and welcome to 30 Days of Qigong for Ascension, and this is the re-record of day 6 for the live. So I'm recording this and I thought I would do a quick routine for maybe when you're feeling like you've had a cold or you've got a cold coming on, you feel, you get that sense of I'm not feeling 100% in alignment with my body. I feel like I'm fighting something off, or maybe you're a little bit fearful of catching something. This is like an immune booster. We're going to work with some pressure points and a seated positions. So to start off with, and I'll go over some of the tech stuff as well to try and remind you, I'm going to work with just our kidney 27 points. So basically don't worry too much about all of that. Just worry about this whole area here with the chest and the knocking the fist. So you might have heard Donna Reader and other people talking about doing this, and we do that in other regards, but when it comes to what we're doing here, we just want to gently, so you get your hands and you just want to gently knock, just gently, because if you're feeling rough, you don't want to be whacking your chest hard. So you're just knocking with the fingers up all along this area, in particular here, but we catch the whole area, it's good for us. And whilst you're doing that, I want you to breathe in. Don't worry if you've got a snotty nose or something, just breathing in and out. We're clearing out the lungs. This is actually kidney meridian, on the kidney meridian. And what is it good for? So good for that upper respiratory fluid, shortness of breath and fatigue, and basically clearing out the stagnant chi. Benefits are immune boosting, good for upper respiratory symptoms, helps distribute the air that enters the lungs, so the fresh chi, and throughout the rest of the body, which is why we start with this point, because fresh chi, fresh energy is what we want. We do this for a good amount of time, but you can do this in bed. So that's hence I'm doing like seated poses today. There'll be a couple we can do on the floor. I'm going to kind of give you a variety that you can use during those times. So coming over from here, I want you to just gently slap, coming round to coming under the points over here. We're basically opening up where we're going under. And on the other side. Now, if that's too much, the slapping, then just gently tapping. Whatever's right for you in your body. If you're really aching and any jolting, then even just some gentle tapping. You decide what's relevant for you. Right, coming to a stop. Link your hands behind you. Now, if you can sit and do this pose in what I call prayer position, sort of cross-legged. But if you're seated in a chair, make sure your feet are pointing forwards, not outwards. So nice hips, knees forward. I'm going to kind of sit to the side so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm going to lift up my hands so they're linked behind, down at the Ming Mang. If I stand, maybe it'd be better for you to see. And release. Now you can just hold, or it's easier, I find, especially if you've got a lot of stiffness, to just lift. Now you can do this while you're seated, while you're standing. And we're activating the meridian points. And then breathe in and exhale. And do that again for a count of 20. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take a deep breath in, release, and again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now you can either stay like this and release the breath, or you can stand. I find this easy to do standing. If you're sitting, we're best going to lean over. I think it's harder to do like that. I find it easier to do while standing But whatever feels right for you, and just moving forward, coming down, let the head drop and feel. Breathe in, breathe out, coming up. Take a deep breath in at the top and out, and going down again, breathing in and coming up. And then we're going to lift. So I'll come to seated so you can relate how you're doing it. Coming from the hands, take your hands out in front of you. So they're not above the head, not directly chest, but about 45-degree angle. And they're straight. And as you pull them down, bring them into fists and push your chest out. So we're... And what we're doing when we do this, we're activating these points, meridian points, behind. And hold. Relax the hands down into the chest. We're going to do what we've done lots of times and how I generally like to start a day, so you activate this point when we do in the mornings. But just looking to the right, breathe in and looking to the left. Now you continue to do that and I'll explain. If you want to, you can take one hand behind you and just feel into the back. So if you put it just behind where your shoulder blade is and start to feel the movement, you actually feel the movement of the muscle. And when you're moving, you're activating these points. And we're also stretching all along these meridians here. So don't jolt. Keep the breath flow with your stretch. Keep the rhythmic breathing. That's also doing other stuff. So we're combining stuff. You can try it the other side, whichever's more comfortable, but you don't need to be holding your hand behind your back. Just feeling, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And if you can, do that 20 times. So, is one. Okay, now if you are unable to, you could just maybe lean forwards and back, but this one really you ought to be doing on the floor. I'm just thinking of an alternative one if you don't want to do this with us, if you have any issues, just maybe coming down. I want to do that point with both of you. I'm just going to show you quickly, for those of you that can, if you've got a mat, you can get down on the floor into like a child pose, so on your backs of the knees, and just bring your hands forward. But the difference is, instead of taking your hands, normally you have your neck aligned in the yoga position, you want to look up, so that you're then, when we do this, when we pushing down and moving the body up, you can't really see me, can you? Let's bring that down here, so you can, when you're pushing, instead of having the head like this, you have the head like that, so that activates behind when we push, because we're thinking of pushing here rather than going back. So subtle difference, that activates that point again. It's another way of doing it. And another thing that's, whilst you're down here, that's nice is the cobra, so which is a yoga position. Breathe in with that, hold, and exhale down. Now, obviously, if you're not feeling 100%, you might not want to be getting down on the floor, but that's another thing that you can do will help the immune system. So if you're someone that's actually feeling the onset, you'll be okay and up for doing that. So some points to work with, and again, stuff that you can do in bed if you are feeling under the weather. This point here, so make an L with your hand and come to the centre and gently massage. Now, if you can massage this point whilst you're laying in bed for 2 or 3 minutes on both sides, that again helps immune boosting. And that is, what's the name of it? I can't remember the Chinese name. Is large intestines. So it builds the immune system, can be used when someone has a cold or flu, stimulates this point, can have a great effect on the flow of the qi, the blood. Oh, that was it, the blood and the heart, which we work with as well. Large intestine associated with the emotions of sadness, grief. It can help build immunity as it works as a paired channel to the lung meridian, which we've just worked with, why I wanted to add it. Also because this is great to use if you have a full moon going on, and at the time I'm re-recording this is the full moon, so if you want to release the emotions again, and you do that both sides. Now, you can massage circular motions like this. If it's tender, you want to linger there a little bit longer and just work out till it feels less tender. Or you can just press and release, press and release, and you do you. Mine actually doesn't feel tender, it's all okay at the moment, but it has done in the past when I've done this. So you might find a little bit of spot to the side of it that feels a little bit more tender. You can work with that. Just go with and listen to your body. Or press and release, or circular motions. Unlike acupuncture, though they are acupressure points, they need to be really precise when they're putting needles in. It's slightly different when we're using it for qigong massage benefits, because your thumb is obviously a lot bigger than a needle. So that's quite a good one to do. Then if you take 3 fingers down from your wrist, just kind of in the centre. I can never remember the Chinese names. I'm having to learn which meridians they are in English and the Chinese. But this one is really good and connected with the heart and the blood flow. And you can do those again, same on the other side. And I'm just doing them for short periods of time for the purpose that you've got a shorter video, but you can do these for longer. I would recommend about 30 seconds and then switch, and 30 seconds and switch, so you do essentially a couple of minutes on either side. Just while we're on the hands and we're on here, coming down from the lung, just gently massaging the back, tracing down. There are little points on the outside, so it's where we do our slapping. So I find it easier to just knock the top, breathe in, breathe out whilst you're doing this. You're giving yourself a pat on the back, your body a pat on the back for being wonderful and helping you, your immune system, your little warriors, however you choose to think of them. And coming slowly down. Remember, I'm lingering, I'm not going down quick like we do when we're doing it on a daily. This is because we're being purposeful in this video for wanting to build that Wei Qi up, our protective Qi, our guardian energy. Coming down the forearm and the hands and the back of the hands, turning over and then going up, lingering a little bit on the hand before you move up the arm, lingering on the forearm, and then on the side of the arm and back up. Come across and go to the top, and repeat that down the other side. Upper arm. So what we're doing is, by capsulating this, we're catching like the lung, the heart, all of these different meridians at the same time. The forearm, where we've just done that little massage. Palms, like clapping literally, and then up the back of the hands, back of the palm, the forearm, the upper arm. And then just shake out any excess. Now, if you're aching and you're finding that hard, do you know, it's just strumming your fingers. Start with that. Whatever's right for you, just purely massaging. The slapping brings the blood flow and our Wei Qi, the protective guardian energy, to the surface. The regenerative cells in our body and our so you've kind of got to work out what's right for you. So you want to have a little bit of that, but you obviously don't, if you're aching, you don't want to be whacking yourself. I know it sounds a little counterintuitive, but it actually is a benefit for you. So what was the other one I wanted to work? Yes, we did the lung one, the large intestines, this point here as well, I think, lung 1, lung 11. Yeah, so if you come, make sure I got it the right point. If you bend your arm and you take your hand around the arm where your finger meets this point here, just on the outside, up from the elbow, or just in from this part here on me. So if you've got your own hand, because on your body and my body it'd be different points, it's measured by you, but you'll feel around, feel for the tender point and that little point there. Give that a little massage. And I'm noticing the videos being a bit longer, apologies. And coming in here, both sides. And shake. And there's 2 more I'd like to add, so apologies for this one being slightly long. One, if you're really snotty, this is a really good one. I think I've done a video on this before anyway, so I'll just briefly talk about this. You can massage here, and remember to breathe in, breathe out, and then under the eyes, which we do later at day 15 with our facial. And just close the eyes and look up and massage just under this eye, so the bone of the eye socket and the brow, just come round, and that whole area is really good. You probably instinctively, when you've got a headache or you're feeling head cold, you will massage this area anyway. There's loads of points and powerful points to release. That's why we instinctively do that. And then coming down, feet facing forward. If you come down either side, see where my ring fingers split? On the outer sides, these little points, can you see the little V's of my knees? If you come to the side points, this is called, now if I get the Chinese name pronunciation right, hang on. Zusanli. Basically, it's the stomach meridian, or what they refer to as the 9-mile point. So the soldiers and the warriors would be told to massage this point. It gives you a bit of a lift. So treatment, the point of energies, and boosts your immune system, also known to help any digestive disorders, and draws the energy into the body in internal reservoir on the sea. Located, that bit, but right place. And you just release. And I will leave it at that for today. So there's some points that you can do without doing more dynamic movements. If you're feeling like you don't feel up to exercise, so if you're that kind of having a day where the Ascension symptoms, like the shoulders and even the cold and flu symptoms that come out sometimes, what we call spiritual flu symptoms, are showing up for you, you can do those points. You can sit in bed and do them. Another one I want to add, just these ones, and just banging the wrists together. And obviously if you go that side and do that side, it's just to even it out for the left and right brain and left brain, masculine and feminine. and I will see you, if you're following the hints, on tomorrow for day 7. My love and blessings. Thank you for joining me. Please like and share this 30-day challenge with those that you feel would benefit. Take care. See you soon.